My computer is moving at micro, but we're going to keep it. Oh, come on. I'm hoping we're live. I'm not even sure if we're live because it's just like sitting still. What are we doing? What are we doing? Right? I'm all here. Computers just come on, baby. Come on, baby. I'll be nice. I'll talk nice to my computer and maybe it'll pick up the pace. It'll pick up the pace if we talk nice to it. You think about that. Let's share screen. I need to be able. Hey, everybody. Hi, hi, hi. We're here this morning. Soon as I can get us up and running, even though it says I'm live, I have to assume we are. Let me change it over. Let me show on YouTube so I can see exactly what this is looking like. Okay, we're here. Yep, it's showing that we're here. Tanya's here. Patrick is here. Rich is here. Woo woo. Ward is here. Carmen is here. Good morning at 8:30 in the morning. Feels a little different from 8:30 because I had a routine that I was working with in the morning, and now my routine's a little bit different. Had to push it back a little bit and move a little quicker, so that way we could I could be here and on time and ready, and I'm ready, and my computer acts like it's not ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. My computer says I'm not ready yet. I didn't wake up yet. Huh. Okay. So looks like the on my screen it doesn't show the same thing that's showing on the YouTube screen. This is so weird. Okay. So it looks like the earnings screen is up. So the earnings screen, we don't really have much happening um, in the earnings screen, in the earnings this morning. Morning, Janae. We're 7:30 in Minnesota. Mr. Earl is here. Hey, Mr. Earl, I ain't seen you in a minute. At least you haven't, seen you type in a minute. Janae's here. Good morning, Early. Good morning, Miss Deborah. Good morning, everybody. For this morning's earnings, we have Fuel Cell Energy is this morning before the open. And then we've got YEXT, Skillsoft, and Calavo. Skillsoft, I guess, would be the only one that I even recognize. I do recognize Fuel Cell Energy, and there this morning. Energy is a thing, even though it's kind of been a downward sector over the last few weeks. You definitely keep it on your watch. We've traded what Devin has been, but Devin actually for a little while was in the iron condor space and then kind of turned around. Hey, Lisa. So we're working with that this morning. What did Adam have to say? Let's see if we can go to slide 2. Yep. Adam had to say, after a 100-point rally, SPX has been in basing mode since Wednesday, largely 63.62. Sorry, that should be 53, 53.52, 50. Oh goodness, 53.62 and 53.32 as posted. Basically, that's the chop zone. Should be a 5, not a 6. Everything in this is pure chop as we await CPI and FOMC. Overnight, we dipped to 53.30 again and bounce. The plan for today is 53.45, 53.52, 53.62 is range resistance next. If 53.31 fails, which is weak now, then we sell to 53.13. Right? If you're trading XSP, you've got 536 on the call side, 531 on the put side. Good morning, Karen. Okay, so that's what we got going as far as Adam goes. This should be 53.52 to 53.32 is the chop zone. So you want to trade accordingly. Remember, we've got stuff like CPI and those things are coming up this week. We got CPI, PPI, and we've got FOMC coming up this week. So there's going to be some interesting stuff happening the first couple of days. Those things are going to happen on Wednesday, I believe, Tuesday or Wednesday. Anyway, I'll talk the schedule in a minute. The VIX is at 13.08. It's up 7%. So VIX goes up. Sometimes the market's going down. I mean, of course, we'll wait and see what happens. And that's as of 6 something this morning, Central Standard Time. So this is 7:49. now, which was still an hour behind this. So I'm almost afraid to make something refresh because it'll take itself forever. Investors brace for the Fed to dial back the view on rate cuts. I'm not really sure what dial back the view means. NVIDIA is a 10 for 1. We're going to look at the NVIDIA stock here in a minute. I'm going to see what that's looking like. Good morning, Lorenzo and Nori. Hey, y'all. This was betrayed. It's beginning the 10 for 1 stock split. We'll see. Does that mean that people are going to jump in and buy a bunch up? But I think in the past, what NVIDIA has done is it has quote unquote faded or dropped back in price after a split or whatever. So this is to be traded as you see it. I mean, I think this new price is going to bring more people into NVIDIA because it's going to be a more accessible stock. Now we're $100 again. We're going to go to the chart here in a minute, but we'll see. A generational opportunity. What's next after the split? Well, I personally believe NVIDIA will continue to move upwards. Amazon did that. I mean, everything else that split basically over time has just grown. Amazon is almost back at $200 and it was down at 100 or less than 100 right after it split. So yeah, Apple WWDC is happening today. That starts today, I believe. The Apple, are they introducing something new? Are they putting something out? So Apple, if you're trading Apple, you're definitely going to want to see what's happening at the WWDC. Not only Apple though. Apple is the big holding, or is a large portion. I say large. It's got a large percentage in like the SPY, SPX, S&P 500, the triple Q. Apple is a big hitter, big hitter in there. So other things are going to be affected by the movement of Apple's price. Will it take off and run? Will it fall off? That's how we go. Former Gap CEO, inflation is a nightmare. Yeah, when nobody's thinking inflation is not a nightmare. I wasn't. Migrant crisis, Novavax surges almost 300% in the past month. They put some drug out or something. Home in a bittersweet market. Okay, so that's what we see as far as that goes. Pre-market, I think I saw something that said the futures had slipped or were slipping. Stock futures slip as traders look ahead to Fed decision and inflation data. Now that's coming out in a couple of days, but in the meantime, we just trade. Again, I always say this, and I hope you hear these things in your head when you decide. You trade what you see, not what you want to see. Stocks making the biggest move: pre-market, DraftKings, Carvana, Southwest Airlines, and more. Dow futures down 0.07%, which is basically flat. S&P futures down 0.05%. NASDAQ futures down 0.05%. Oil and 10-year bonds are both green. Let's check out our calendar for this week. We do have... Today shows nothing on the Forex Factory calendar. I do see some stuff when I look at investing.com here in a minute. We'll see some more things because there's some stuff there. Few things. Tuesday, though, we've got 10-year bond auction is the orange photo. That's going to be noteworthy. Wednesday is where all the action, all the fireworks will happen on Wednesday. Waiting for CPI that will come in the morning. 2 o'clock, we're going to have FOMC members and FOMC statement. Not really members are going to do any talking, but the press conference happens at 2:30. And this is where, not yet, Ms. Nori. I have not identified where my buddy is at this point. I don't know. Nope, don't have an answer just yet. I'm bothered and I'm trying not to be. So I've really put it in the hands of the man who controls the sea because that ain't me. And yeah. So either way, trying to stay on the task at hand. FOMC press conferences, I will go down that rabbit hole and y'all will have to come get me for sure. Okay, so then Wednesday, there's that. And then Thursday, we've got PPI coming up and 30-year bond auction. And then Friday, University of Michigan stuff is there. When I look at investing.com for today, sometimes, one has more stuff than the other. So today at 10 o'clock on investing.com, the CB Employment Trends Index, it's a 1-star, so maybe, won't have much impact. But at 11, we've got the New York Fed 1-year consumer inflation expectations. Not really sure what that is, but it's got 2 stars. So we'll include that. The 3-month bill auction, 6-month bill auction are both at 11:30, and at 1 o'clock we've got the 3-year note auction. Now this one doesn't impact, from what I understand, doesn't impact the market in the same way as a 10-year and a 20-year or 30-year bond auction does. But 3-year note, it's got 2 stars, so that says what's going on there. Let's look over here at the ES, see what it's doing. I did talk about Atom stuff. This is the ES compared to the S&P 500, SPX 500. Currently, SPX 500 is at 53.41. This is what are we on? We're on the daily chart. So this is what we've been doing for the daily. Let's see. Oh, no, sorry. Are we on the daily or 15-minute chart? We're on 15-minute chart. I thought we were on the daily, but it says 15 right here. Duh. Let me see. I'm going to put it on 65 minutes and see what we see here. I've got some stocks I want us to look at. I told you I had 3 on my Iron Condor list. I'm going to do that. We're going to look at, NVIDIA, and we'll look at Apple to see what Apple's doing. This is the ES. S&P 500 ES basically running, well, similar. This is the daily chart over here. That's what that is. Trying to see if this is a structure break or what's going on over here. Some strat things that are happening inside this chart. Okay. We're basically at 53.41 right there. I want to close this because I need to shut down something that's taken up. That's taken up memory. And that would be a thing that's taking up the memory. Let me get us onto a chart. See if I can bring this up there. I should be able to. I almost want to shut a lot of this stuff down because I need the bandwidth in my computer. I might leave Yahoo Finance open. The VIX never did refill, so we'll leave you be, Mr. VIX, for now. Come back and check on you. Yeah, I ask that you all continue to pray for me, friend. I know he's not just my friend. He's y'all's friend too. Let's look at NVIDIA, seeing what... Oh, no, I want NVDA. I'm typing faster than my computer is moving, so I have to slow down to keep up with the computer. That's not the way that's supposed to go, is it? See if we can get us a chart we can look at. Okay, so this is NVIDIA on the daily chart. Looks like the stock price currently is 120.83. It's the current price of the stock. Let's see if we do some charting, some of our good charting. We've got a gap here between 115.27 and 117. We've got a gap there. Looks like this gap here has been almost filled. There's another gap down here that needs to be noted, duly noted, as they say. Let's put some lines on for support and resistance in case you decide you want to trade some NVIDIA. Now, I'm wondering, we're going to go look. I want to see if we're at 1 spread with them, because NVIDIA was at 5 spreads, wasn't it? Was it NVIDIA or was it a 2.5 spread? I got some support at 109.62. There's probably a little more right in here as well. So you put that back, put that on the chart too. There's something right in here. Okay, so 114.76 and then resistance at 124.20. If we were looking, I'm expecting that it will be traded heavily. I don't expect remember what moves the NVIDIA was a 5 spread. What moves the price? What moves the price here is people buying shares. That's what moves the price. But options contracts are going to definitely be involved. So this is weird, kind of. Today we've got 115.25, 0.5, 0.75, 116. So I guess while they're maybe getting the levels set, or maybe once the market opens, these things on the option chain are going to shift and adjust, because right now all of this is showing not applicable, which I think is quite weird. Why is all this stuff not applicable? Something here needs to be applicable. We need to be able to see what's up. Let me change this so it gets a little bit bigger so y'all can see the numbers. But at this point, we've got a 0.25. Down in here, it jumps to 0.5, but up here at further away is 0.25. So this is all point in here. Near to at the money, it's point. I would just need to wait till the prices and all those things fill in, and that's probably going to happen. As the market opens, I definitely would, give it a minute to let whatever's going on with NVIDIA settle. And we always, first of all, I teach you all that anyway, that we don't, as sellers, don't jump in off rip, no way. So I want you to keep that in mind. Okay. Let's go to look at Apple. We're going to have to swing back. You'll have to NVIDIA once the market opens. Okay, so Apple is a 2.5 spread. See what our Apple chart is looking like. Okay. Apple has support that it bounced off of on Friday at the 194 level. It's another one that once it split, it fell down and then has done its good recovery. 186. So with Apple, if you're interested in trading Apple, I probably would definitely wait to see what kind of thing happens at the WWDC. Like, are they going to announce that they are bringing out this? Supposedly they're going to talk about something that has to do with generative AI, and that's all the rave in these days. So we want to make sure that if there's something like that pops out and they offer some great thing, that you're ready to make your move. But from what I can see now, I honestly wouldn't do anything but a put credit spread based on just what I'm looking at. But you'd want to look to see what location you want to be at this point. I'm looking at like 192.5, plus minus 6.5 is what they have up here. So if we take away 6, that actually puts you at 190. I would look at 190, 187, just because but I would definitely wait, because as a seller, you don't have any reason to rush in on Monday morning to something that you got sometime during the week to get in on. Okay. But I would look at 90, 187.5 range at this point. It's not on our list. Apple didn't show up on the list, but does it mean if that's something on a trade that you can't? So the 187.5, 190 is currently showing $36. Of course, the market is closed. So keep that in mind. Let's move on. We didn't look at PayPal yesterday. I wanted to look at PayPal as an iron condor, and we didn't do that yesterday. We had a lot of other stocks that we looked at, which I think our call was phenomenal yesterday. And if you didn't watch the call yesterday, I would suggest you go back and watch it, because we covered, 6, 7 stocks. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We might have covered 8 stocks yesterday, looking at what's going on. If you please go ahead, like and subscribe, see what we got going, put your notification bell on and your thumb up, let the people know that we're here. All righty, go ahead and do that for me. I'm also, remember, I'm going to swing back around to this in a second, but we are doing the Chart Your Way to 100K training program, and it's starting. I need you all to go ahead. If you're going to get on it, you need to go ahead and get on it, so that way you can have access to that, right? We're going to also include the 4 weeks of training that is going on. Okay, so here we are. This is PayPal. Looking at it on the daily chart, seeing what we see as far as supports. I see support here, 65.12, based on this candle here. We've got a gap beneath this big old monster candle here. And that gap is at the top of that gap is at 64.20. Resistance is up here, 70 and some change, but we also have resistance at the bottom of this monster candle, which is 67.93. Okay, so I've marked on my chart the place where resistance is, so that way when the price gets up into this area, it will alert me. I put on an alert. It will alert me that the price is basically at resistance, so I can go ahead and put in my call credit spread. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? You want to enter your call credit spread when the price is at resistance. Enter call credit spread when the price is at resistance. And then you want to enter your put credit spread when the price is at some support. So if price comes down here, I probably should move this up to the 65 support because I like that one better. When price is at support, enter your put credit spreads, right? So I got an alert that's going to tell me, or going to let me know when it's in that range. Okay, I think I'm going to change this to, this is my alert. I'm going to replace my alert. This is how you do it if you need to change something on it. And I want this to be, if it's closer to 65, I want to tell me to do my put credit spread with this particular strike. That's where I'm going to do it. Okay. So I put on my supports and resistance. I've done that and said, okay, I'm believing that PayPal is going to stay in this zone here and be good for an iron condor. Let's go to the trade. Let's go to the option chain. Okay, currently, if you were looking right now, currently, when market is closed, of course, you've got 65 as a 79% probability to have the money. I think that's a good number. And you've got 70 at 81%. So plus minus 2.5, add 2.5 puts us at 70. Subtract 2.5 puts us right at 65. So 65 and 70 is what I see as the numbers. Let me do that about the PCS. Enter PCS when price is at support. Okay. The computer's typing. It's just, I've typed it and it's still filling in. Filling it in. Do we have any stocks y'all want to look at? I didn't see any listed in here. Okay, so I've got 65 and 70 for PayPal. As far as, I guess that'll take its own penny time. Okay, 65. Let me put it back on the chart. it's just doing its own thing. We just gonna pray and continue. If you was in church and technology start acting up, they start talking about the devil is a lie. Oh goodness. So I would say we continue to go on forward where we got. I've tried to share my screen. Oh, there we go. It popped up now. It's gonna let me share. There we go. See if it lets me in. CCS at or above 70. I'm assuming it's going to share. Oh, there it is. It's starting to give it. And then I need a PCS at or below 65. Okay, Tanya. Right. What you ain't gonna do. We just gonna continue to do what we do. That's what we're gonna do. We just gonna keep doing what we do. So that way we could cover. So anyway, that's what I see for PayPal. The call credit spread at or above 70 and a put credit at or below 65. I got some more stocks I want to go through. I got to get my system doing what I needed to do. Okay, so we looked at that. We look at, I don't think we looked at Uber yesterday. I don't think we looked at Uber yesterday. So let me see if we can get Uber on the screen. We looked at UPS, which I told you all yesterday I felt was an opportunity for an iron condor UPS. Lisa brought that one up yesterday. And I said I felt like that was a good iron condor opportunity. There we are. Okay. So I wanted to swing back around to the Chart Your Way to 100K. Again, it's a training program that I released on Friday, basically launched it on Friday. Let me take myself off the screen so y'all can see the bottom there. It's going to include, this training includes chart basics. What's on the chart? How do you see what's a candle? That's basically the big, we'll start at the beginning, right? And then we have support, resistance, trends, gaps, candlesticks, indicators. Like, how do we incorporate all these things together? So I've seen, and it's easy to look at, to have videos where you're looking just at one topic. But then you need to know, how do all these things come together and work together in order to provide you the information you need to put in trades, right? And that's what I'm going to help you do, is bring it all together in pieces. So yes, we're going to learn them individually, and then we'll see how do we bring it all together and make our, help ourselves to be great master traders. I was going to say live master traders. How do we help ourselves to be great master traders, right? This also includes 4 weeks of interactive learning. We will learn together on a weekly basis, and that's no extra charge because the training itself, it fits the price. And then we have an exclusive Telegram with access to me. Basically, I'm in the Telegram, and I'll be there to assist as we continue to grow and learn. This is, this is going to the good price. The good price now, the $200 off price tag is good till this evening, right? Good to tonight. It's scrolling along the bottom, but you should go to Chart Your Way to 100k.com. I see if that types in right, and then go ahead and avail yourselves, especially if you know, which we already know, many of us know that we need some support and some help in this area. Many of us know that this is an area of our weakness. No, and it's not a shot. I'm just saying that it is, right? And we know it is. How do we know it is? Because it shows up in your profits. It shows up in your profitability. It shows up in your consistency. This is the place where it shows up. I have found that as I've leaned in more to understanding and learning and putting all these pieces together, then my results have changed. So if that's the case for me, I know I'm not alone. I'm not the only one. So I want to make sure that I'm helping you all along that same vein. Okay. So go ahead, chart your way to 100K and selves involved. We're going to start. The 4 weeks is going to start next week. I want to take this week to make sure everybody who's interested wants to get into it. And then next week, we'll start up the 4 weeks. There is a payment plan. If you didn't want to pay the one price, there is a payment plan, a 2 once a month payment, whatever, something like that. You just check on chart your way to 100K, and you can see the price. You can see the payment options. All righty. Now we're looking at Uber. Let's go back to Uber. Go back and check out Uber. Dun, 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 oh, there we go. We're back on the chart. My screen is not showing the chart, but you all can see it already. So I've got our support and resistance. Now, Uber had an earnings jump from several days ago. I want to say this was earnings. Somehow their earnings was back here. What made them gap up this particular day? Not real sure, because earnings is this drop back here is earnings down, then it's gone back through the gap, but it left a little bit. This isn't quite that gap, is a part of it, but this isn't part of that. This is a gap up, and then we had this left over at the top from 69.76 all the way up to 70 and 70.63, so about 80 cents. Is a gap still waiting at the top, and Uber has gotten up to the gap. It hasn't gone through it all the way, but it's pretty much filled the gap, because the gap was really this whole thing from the top of 66, actually really the top of this candle, which is more like 67, all the way up to the 70 point is really what it was, and it's taken some time. It dipped back, and then it's now come on back through that gap, but the gap there. So we got some resistance at the $70.42 mark. We could also say there's some resistance above this red candle, 72.65. So as the price comes up into 70.40, right, as it comes on up into here, this is where I put me an alert on that tells me this is when I need to enter my call credit spread at 73, somewhere above here or above this resistance really is sufficient. Let's go see if what we see now it's going to look a little bit different than when the market opens and when price is a little bit closer, but we got plus minus 2.6. We add 2.6 to this, that puts us at 72, 73, right? So that's why I was saying 73, and 73 is about 86%. So that's going to put us at 73. If we add this 2.6 to this, it's going to put us at 73, right? Add 2 puts us at 71, 72. Actually, 72, not quite 73. 72 is here as well. We can get 72 as our strike. Go back to the chart and see. We could put here text CCS at above 72. Okay, you basically wait until it comes into the zone, doing your thing. Pierre said, I learned a lot on Friday at 4:10 when my covered call on crowd expired at 350. Then institutions pushed the price up to 370. I was not a fan. Yeah, and when you have covered calls, or was it, assuming you mean covered call, you basically need to, at the end of the day, even though it's expiring worthless, you probably should go ahead and close them out, because the price will still move. And as long as the price is still moving, even though your option is closed, if the broker takes until 4:30, 5:30, sometimes 6:30 to close out that number, because they're closing out on the day. So if it gets pushed somewhere else, you're going to maybe have some issues, right? Good morning, Tamar. So definitely, if you can close up your seller trades at expiration, I know people like, what's expired worthless? I agree. But if you can close it yourself, then you know there's no funny business that's going to happen after the market is closed. All right. So we're also going to do a PCS at or below. I'm going to go below 66. That's going to be the bottom of that gap. At or below 66 if the price comes back in here, but I'm entering that as the price comes down into 67 and some change. Okay, we're entering that. Yep, yeah, they took it. You're right, exactly, Pierre. The way you can make sure that none of your stuff gets moved is to go ahead and close it up yourself. Close it up yourself, because they don't do any moving or taking if you're if the option, I mean, if the trade is closed, then they go after. But if it's open, then it says, I'm still available. Still available. Okay. This is Shopify. Shopify is on our call credit spread list. Shopify is on the call credit spread list. Not sure why the volume is still here. I'm fine with not having the volume right there in the way. In the way. Let me switch this back a little bit. Shopify. It has come out of this support though and going on back up. So I'm fine with this because I have a call debit spread on Shopify and I'm fine with it going on to Target. Actually, I'm probably going to close it today because it's doing what it's supposed to, giving what it's supposed to have gave, as they say. But if the price comes into the 62.76, right, this is where I have as resistance. As it comes into this price, this is where you'd enter your call credit spread, right, as it's coming up. Now, we could have done a put credit spread. We've got, if we change this to a line, we can see that there's some places along here. This is momentum. Really, the place for support is back here down at like 58. Right, and we're coming in at 62. So you could also do under, get under the 58 if you're interested in that. Let's see what we got as far as the option chain is concerned. 58 is a 87% probability out of money. I venture to say there's probably not a great deal of premiums there. 57.58 is paying $7. Yep, not really doing, because price is going in the other direction. What do we say? As it's going up into the 62.76 range, we can then look at getting us call credit spread like 63.83 or 64. So let me put here. I don't know what I put on let me go look and see what is the strike I gave on the graphic. Shop is 65.66. So let's go see if we want to look at the plus minus number. Plus minus 2.5. If we're going up from here, 2.5 is going to take us up to 64, right? I think I said 65, but I think 65, 66, somewhere up in there. You're comfortable. As long as you're comfortable, that's the point. That's the whole point, is that you're comfortable. All right, with whatever strike you come with. I had that one, and I got. Did we looked at in phase yesterday? I think we did. Tamar, you got something in your mind? Your thoughts for in phase? In phase had a big old red day on Friday. Lord, what were you doing? I had to jump out of in phase part down tomorrow because I was like, where are you going? And it was going with my money. So I got out with break even on the put credit spread side. But I had done call credit spreads. So I have made my profits really on the other side. And so I just closed up the put credit spread, break even. I was like, ain't no reason to sit around here waiting and hoping. I already made some money off in phase. No reason to lose it all back for a few dollars. So Exxon is also on the credit spread list. And resistance is like 114, and in this area here 114, and there's also resistance right here at 113.95. I believe the graphic has us at XM 116, and I think that's based on the plus minus number. 116 puts us above all this fray, puts us up above this, right at that place there. And so the plus minus number for XM is 2.5. At 2.5 is where at like 115, 116 if you want to feel, a little more secure. But 115 is a 74. Most people won't want that. 116, 117 is going to be good. 116, 117. Currently paying $12. Market is closed, of course. As price comes up some, that will go up. If you like those numbers. And rock on, rock on. Before I shut us down, we're going to go to in phase. In phase had a big monster candle Friday. We have to now see how we gonna trade it. What would we do? In phase, we're liking those premiums, but this right here, this candle right here, this candle right here came down and covered up all the gaps that you thought was some gaps. Like we're coming for it. We're coming for it. But it came right down almost to support, which is 121. You can see there we got a touch back here, even in this area, 121, even back here as far. So. And then this place here, 121 is definitely support. We do want to see it come out of this zone. I would want to see it come out of that zone before you make a move, because I don't really know what made it switch over to where it is. Anybody, Tamara, do you know any news out in phase? Why do we have such a ugly day on Friday? Even though they are still, on an upwards trend, I just don't know why it was so ugly on Friday. But if you're looking at the below, now if you're going to trade in phase, I strongly suggest you take heed to this plus minus number over here. This is plus minus 7.8. Let's make 8. Add this and this. This puts us at like 130, right? 130, 131. I definitely would suggest, if you're going to trade it, that you get, you give heed to that number. Even at 130, it's $22 being traded. For being given for the premiums. And if you take away 8, this puts us at what, 114, 113, 114 down here. Now that might not be as much in the premiums. Oh, it's $18. So you can get a $40 for a one spread. That's why we love it on in phase, boy. But definitely, it appears as isn't that a bull flag? Well, a bull flag. Is it because you see this as the pole and then this as the part downwards, and then it flags to go back up? I guess we could go with that. Let me see if we put some trend line on it. We were going from here down to here. You could probably, go from here to here. Come on, and then include these wicks. And this would be the pole. Okay, well, anytime you want to give me the line, there we go. And then we could go, if you want to just draw it in. Don't know, that big old red candle is I don't like the way that looks, but hey, I like underneath here because it has come so hard into this area that I do like support under here and then have it going on back, because in phase it was consolidating here for a long time. Y'all see all this consolidation in here? Basically, it was between 121 and 105 for a few months, and then decided to move on out. It might just be coming back to the zone it's used to, coming to the river. It's going to stick to the rivers and the lakes that it's used to. That very well could be what's happening. I'm sticking to what I know. That may be what in phase is saying. In phase was upgraded today. Oh, from a hold to buy. Yep. If it was upgraded, it's probably getting ready to move back to the top. Move on back up. If it was who upgraded it, Lorenzo? Who upgraded it? This is a partial list of the trade ideas. If you're in a membership, then you've seen the full list. Of course, there's plenty of options right here. Plenty of money. These 8, 10, 12 things. There's plenty of money right there. The whole list has a bunch more trades. You know, you can go ahead and trade what you see, trade what we talk about, all that. Those are the trade ideas for the week. What's my next screen here? Go ahead and give it to us. We talk a lot about vertical spreads. We talk a whole lot about vertical spreads. And if you're interested in doing vertical spreads, but really need the training, really need to know more about it, then this is the training that you may want to grab. Of course, all of the trainings are at educatortotrader.com. So Tamar says, I follow the news closely on end phase. I've noticed anything mentioned about the stock moves just an hour ago. They've been upgraded to 166 from 104. I've seen this reflect in volatility within. You saw it on HSBC. And Tanya says, on upgrade, it might get up and run. I'm going to watch it. I don't want to be in front of that train. Yeah, no, this definitely would be a put credit trade, because I told you I was liking under here because it's been going on an upwards ride. I wouldn't really get on top. I can really be under the bottom. I got into my call credit spread, I think, last Wednesday. So I was able to get those closed up. But then definitely need to have a look at it, see what happens. Because in-phase holds good premium, so you don't have to rush in. But it's probably going to move this morning with the upgrade to 166 off of 104. Yeah, it's probably going to get up and get moving. The E2T membership is open. Morning calls, weekly training calls, monthly coaching calls, Telegram group, me, the people, all the stuff there, and there. If you're one who really wants to get all of the option seller stuff all in place, you can get everything in one place. This is the option seller bundle. Of course, it's at educatortotrader.com. It includes cash secure puts, calls, short selling, options 411, how do you do zero DTE, and vertical credit spreads. All the stuff is in there together at one time. You can go ahead and grab hold of the whole kit and caboodle all at once. I shared my PeakBot trend spread bot stuff yesterday on your call that I traded TQQQ. I traded Devin last week, actually 2 times for TQQQ, 3 times on Devin. And the bot did the work. It entered the trade on its own. And actually it has entered again for TQQQ is the only one I'm working. I think is the only one I'm working this week is TQQQ. If you want to sign up on PeakBot, use peakbot.com/E2T to go ahead and get your 25% off for the first quarter. Actually, their prices are very reasonable. So 5% off is really good. But it's not like expensive by any stretch, not for the bot to be doing the work for you. All right. Our E2T edition is, when it pops up on my screen, which it hasn't just yet. Oh, there we go. I declare I'm a great trader. I declare I'm a successful trader. I declare I'm a focused trader. I declare my wins exceed my losses. My accounts grow more and more each week. I'm a wise and knowledgeable trader. I always make smart and lucrative decisions for my portfolios. I declare I'm a level-headed trader who does not trade my emotions. How did you get your price levels on the right? When I picked, when I write, I'm gonna try to share it again. When I click on putting the level there, I do a right click on the, there you are. So when I'm here and I do a right click on whatever level, I put it there. I'm going to edit properties, and I made this I said I wanted it to show. So right here where it says show name, the default is do not show. That's the default. I changed mine to show on the right. So no matter what you put here, it's going to show on the right. And if I type something in here, which in this case, let's say I type support, right? If I type something in there, then that's what it will put on that line, because I usually type stuff in there. Okay. So then I made this save as a default and hit OK. And so every time I put a level on, it's going to fill that in for me. All right. Basically do a right click on the line you have, go to edit properties, change this here where it says show name. I put mine on the right. The default is not show. I put it on the right, save as a default, and put OK. All righty. Let's go on to our prayer so we can close out. I want you all to be ready for when the market opens. This is why I moved our call forward. I moved our call to 8:30 so that way I can comfortably talk about what's happening, what's coming up. I'm not feeling distracted, and I can go through things. An hour is plenty of time, right, to get everybody ready. We can cover what we need to look at ahead of time. And at 9:30, when the market opens, we're free to go ahead and start. So now, as sellers, we don't necessarily buy anything at 9:30, but you're looking. And if you're buying, I mean, you don't necessarily enter any trades at 9:30, but you're looking. If you're a buyer, you may be going in that early. I wouldn't necessarily suggest it, because really you should probably wait 15, 20, maybe 30 minutes before you do anything, just unless you're doing some scalping at the open, which that of course is your business. I'm just saying that it will be really good if you wait the 15, 20, 30 minutes to see what is the market actually doing before you start making moves, because at the first 20, 30 minutes, we know it's just orders from overnight, orders that have been placed over the weekend, especially on a Monday. On a Monday, there's all kind of orders. Folks have had the whole weekend to study. All the stuff has been set up. So just Monday morning is a lot. So I would suggest you wait, but I want to be distracted. I don't want you all to be distracted. I really want to be able to give you what you need in a fashion that is comfortable for all, right? Okay. So that's why we moved the call to 8:30. I hope that's okay with you all. I'll be here regardless. I sure hope y'all will join me. Let's do our prayer. Lord, as you gives us the power to get wealth, you teach our hands the purpose of establishing your kingdom. Help us today to trade wisely and strategically in order to fulfill this purpose. Give us more than enough so we can have what we need and enough to be a blessing to others. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay. So, Lord, please help me find my friend. That's the prayer I have this morning, is to help me find my friend, because I have not been successful at that, and that's bothering me. It's bothering me. Okay, so if y'all are thinking about some stuff, y'all go ahead and pray about that too, that we can locate our friend. And I'm really just hoping that it's something crazy like his computer's not working and he lost his phone and all the things. I don't know. I just don't know. I've called so many times that I've stopped calling because I'm like, But the phone is still, it's not dead. So it's still ringing through. It's not like, you know how when your phone dies, it goes straight to voicemail. It's not doing that at this point, which means it still has some power. I guess I'm thinking it just must not be with him. And I don't know. And yeah, anyway, I'm gonna stop. Before I get emotional, I don't want to get any more emotional. Okay. So we're going to do things today. I want you all to be wise master traders, and I want you to stay green and get this money. So, and I want you to try to have a great green day and say a prayer for my friend. All righty. We'll talk later. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye. Bye-bye. Trying to end the stream. It doesn't want to end. End live video. End the stream. End the stream. Yes. Yes, you can end. There we go.